Mula sa Asian Community Development Council, ito ang Fil-Am in Focus. Mondays at 12 noon, right here on PHLV Radio.
Happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Month sa inyong lahat. Welcome to another episode of Fil-Am in Focus, a program by the Asian Community Development Council or ACDC, wherein we discuss issues, challenges, and opportunities affecting Filipino Americans. Ako po ang inyong host, Edelweiss Rivera Solano. Today's episode is about the upcoming Professional Asian Pilots Association or PAPA here in Las Vegas for their second Expo on May 18 and 19. PAPA was created in April 2017 by a group of airline pilots who are dedicated to bringing awareness and support to all members of the Asian community in all fields of aviation. And the Expo also celebrates Asian culture and supports and empowers all in the aviation industry. And to talk about this event and share her story and contributions as a Filipino and Japanese woman in the aviation industry, I'm excited to introduce you to Kizna Loosely, a mentor and conference committee member for the Professional Asian Pilots Association or PAPA. Kizna's dream was to be a pilot since she was a little girl, and she grew up in Las Vegas and received her private pilot's license her senior year of high school and went to Utah State University for flight school, where she received her degree in aviation professional pilot with a minor in business management and hasn't stopped flying since. Now, Kizna flies as a first officer for Southwest Airlines and is married to another pilot with 2 daughters. First of all, Kizna, happy Mother's Day. And thank you for being here. I'm excited to speak with you.
Thank you for having me on this show. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. So, Kizna, tell me, when did you realize that you love flying?
I love flying ever since I was a little girl. I knew I wanted to be a pilot. Mm-hmm. I went on my first discovery flight when I was 10 years old over the desert. It was amazing. I was in the air, and I just knew I wanted to do it for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. I have a really supportive family, and so I did a discovery flight and then went to an aviation high school here in Las Vegas, Rancho High School. Okay. And so I was able to receive my private pilot's license when I was a senior and continue on. I went to Utah State University, like you said, and then continued my hours with flight instructing. I flew the Grand Canyon tours out of Boulder City, and then got hired at SkyWest Airlines, and I was there for about 9 years, and then now I'm currently a first officer at Southwest Airlines based here in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's an amazing story. And did you ever have a role model who inspired you to become a pilot or to choose this profession?
I actually didn't have an airline pilot that I knew. I just knew I wanted to pursue that. Yes. But my mom was very supportive of it. When I went to Rancho High School, it was far from where I grew up. I grew up in Henderson. And when I told her that I wanted to go to Rancho High School, she was very supportive. She said, if it's your dream, why don't you try it out? Same with going to college. I went out of state to Utah, and I didn't know anybody there. And again, she was very supportive and said, try it out. If that's your passion, you need to check it out. You need to research it. And so she's been my role model. And also in the Asian community, I watched her, also Auntie Vida, Lynn, I watched them volunteer their time for different Asian councils, and having that role model and having the mentorship of them, showing that you can do anything and also give back to the community has been priceless.
And then you mentioned that you went to Utah University and then went back here in Las Vegas, and you shared a while ago that it's a full circle for you from flying and then also giving back to the community. So tell me what is PAPA?
Yes.
Expo.
Coming back to Las Vegas, it has been full circle. I grew up here. My community's here.
Yes.
I have a lot of family, and so having my young kids, I have a 5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old girls, and being able to come back and live in Vegas has been amazing because we're by our family and also by our culture.
Yes.
With the Professional Asian Pilots Association, we have our Expo that's coming up this week. Thursday and Friday, we've been preparing for the last year for that. We had our inaugural Expo last year. It was a lot of work, very successful, and so we're going off of the success of that and making it bigger and better this year at the Westgate Hotel on Thursday and Friday. And with the planning of that, we're all airline pilots. Not only airline pilots, but different parts of the aviation community, and we're all volunteering for it. So it's some of us, it's a full-time job on top of our careers and our family, but we know we're giving back to the community, providing scholarships, mentorships, that networking. It's a pilot job conference, and so people are also coming in their suits and interviewing and getting jobs on the spot. And so it is such a great opportunity for us to network and also have different opportunities within the industry.
Yeah. So it's going to be a hub of resources for aspiring and also seasoned pilots.
Yes.
Oh, and then would you be having some cultural performances during that event?
Yes, that's actually what I'm in charge of. I'm in charge of the fun of it all. I bring the cultural events of it. So I've been coordinating that, and with the resources from ACDC, I've had different performers that I could contact, and that's been really nice to have that connection with ACDC. We have LV Modern Kung Fu. They're going to be doing our Chinese lion dance on day one. That's at 8:45 a.m. on Expo Day 1 on Thursday. And then on Friday, we have LV Kaminari Taiko performing taiko drums on the second day. And then the festival, we have a night festival on Thursday night. Our MC is Sue West, our connection with ACDC. We have scholarships that are going to be awarded at that time, lifetime member presentations. Our presidency, they're going to be talking about our group and the different things that we provide throughout the year. Vita Lynn will be spotlighted for her philanthropy in the industry.
Incredible.
Yes. And then we have lots of performances. We have a Cambodian dance group that will be performing. They're coming in from Long Beach. Las Vegas Hula will be performing, a Filipino dance group from here in Las Vegas. We have Asian Elvis that is coming in from the Netherlands. He will be performing as well. And the Westgate used to be the International where Elvis had his residency. And so that's why we have a personality. So we have that connection. And Asian Elvis, his name is David Niju, and he will be coming in from the Netherlands. I'm actually picking him up tomorrow.
That's exciting.
Yes, he's so amazing. He's such a great dancer and singer, and so he's going to be performing throughout our conference and then at the night festival as well. So we're so excited. It's going to be a great showcase of all our different cultures because Papa is made up of so many different cultures, and so we just love to spotlight that and show our differences as well.
So it sounds like a very fun and exciting event. So does anybody can just attend the event, or they have to be part of the aviation industry?
No, we have anybody that wants to come and support our group, the industry, or just check it out. The thing I love about our group is we focus on the youth. We have free tickets for high school students up to 18 years old, and then for students from 19 to 22, they have discounted tickets at $25. And then on our Papa website, we have the different, if you're a member, non-member, the tickets. And so you just have to go online and purchase a ticket, but everybody's welcome. We invite everybody, and we just love the event.
And this will be at Westgate Hotel and Casino.
Yes.
And it runs from what time and until?
On Thursday, the conference is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with that opening performance at 8:45 a.m. And on Friday goes from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday,
And
with the opening performance at 8:45 on Friday.
Oh, that's awesome! And then they can purchase the tickets on your website, which is the AsianPilots.org.
Yes.
I see. Okay, and so as a woman and Filipino Japanese in the aviation industry, did you experience any challenges?
I don't fit the normal stereotype of a pilot. So a lot of the times people were intrigued that I was part of the flight program. And so, and it was nice because people had questions. They're like, oh, how did you want to become a pilot? And is it hard because you don't see a lot of females in the industry or minorities in the industry? And so I think people more had questions about how I got to my position. And then there were times where I would, get a job or land an internship, and people would question, oh, did you get that because you were a minority or a female? And that's hard because you work really hard and everybody has the same certificates, and I volunteer a lot, and I had that on my resume. And so sometimes I feel like it was more of a point that I was a minority or a female that I got a position where, in fact, I worked really hard for it. And so that kind of overshadowed it a little bit but that's a small part of it. Most of the people that I've encountered in this industry, they've been supportive. Or I have passengers that get on the plane or pass through the terminal at the airport, and they're just like, love to see it. Amazing to see a female, amazing to see an Asian female. And so I feel like I get a lot of support more than flack.
I see. Yeah, I know. You're very inspiring, actually. And just, like what you said, like just seeing a woman, an Asian woman in the cockpit, that's very incredible.
Thank you so
and
much.
You did say that achieving a dream of becoming a pilot can also is without hardship and challenges and those stereotypes. And how were you able to overcome those too?
I overcame a lot of my, it's hard. Flying, you have to study a lot. You need your support system. And that's what I've always had. My family has been always supportive. They check in on me. I met my husband in flight school, and he's amazing. He's always just cheered me on and has gone through the journey with me too. We met when we were students working on our commercial license. And so we've always studied together and cheered each other on. We've gone from students to flight instructors to Grand Canyon pilots to regional pilots to major airline pilots. And so sharing that dream with somebody, and then also growing that family with somebody and having someone completely support whether I wanted to fly a lot or take a step back and focus on our family. I've had his support 100%. And so for me and my journey, it's been my family, my spouse, and friends. I have mentors. I've had mentors that were mom pilots. Now that I'm part of the Professional Asian Pilot Association, I wish I would have had that when I was a student. It wasn't around back then. But to be a pilot mentor for that, and seeing these young students or in flight school, and it's been amazing for me to give back that way because I wish I would have had that.
Yes, and not only did your friends, your mentors, your husband supported you, but also you mentioned a while ago your mom was the critical person that really supported you in your dreams. So thank God for all moms out there.
Yes.
And again, happy Mother's Day po sa mga lola, nanay, at mga who's doing great job as a mother po. Thank you so much. And then, can you share also, you mentioned that you were also a mother. So how were you able to balance having $2 and having a flourishing career too?
Thank you. Yes, I am a mom to 2 beautiful daughters, and they're young, 5 years old. and my younger daughter is almost 3. And it's been a big balance. I chat with my husband all the time. We're always on the same page with our schedules. I live 2 minutes away from my mom, and so she's right there if our days overlap. She's very supportive with taking our kids, and I have my aunties in the area too, cousins that come and help us watch our girls if we need it. And so we're very... we have our village, we have our support system, and that's everything, because we wouldn't be able to have our, like you said, our careers and balance everything if we didn't have our kids as our priority. And so lots of family, lots of friends help, and just being in check with each other. My husband and I, we have to make time for our relationship too, and so we have to make sure that we have our schedules, but also have the quality of life of having nights off together, switching our schedules around, and so that's a big priority for us.
Oh, that's nice, like balancing everything. So you're like a superwoman.
Oh, sometimes we're really tired too.
Be able to do everything, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like I really, aside from you being in the aviation industry, I also salute you as being able to balance your career, your professional and personal life as well. And do you ever have fears of flying?
Oh, fear of flying. You know, the thing with aviation is I love it so much because it's challenging. No flight is ever the same. You have different weather, passengers, experiences with things in the air, on the ground, but we're so trained. From the very beginning to get our first license to yearly checks that we do now, it's so safe. I think with the personality of a pilot and how you're trained, and you have to think outside the box, you have situational awareness, that I've never been nervous about it. I'm just like, what challenge is going to come up next? How am I going to react to it? I'm sitting next to someone else that is a professional pilot, and so I've never been nervous about the flying aspect of it. It excites me, actually.
Oh, I see. Like the challenge actually excites you, and being out there. And do you like, of course, the being in the... Some I read like they want to be in above the clouds or be with the clouds, and traveling also allows you to experience different cultures. Is that part of it also, of the perks of being in a industry?
Yes, and that's another thing that I love about being a pilot and becoming a pilot. When I was in high school, I remember I told my friends we were going to go out and have some fun. And I said, can we go to the airport and just walk around the terminal, like downstairs? And they're like, that's the fun you want to have? And I was like, yeah, like let's go to the airport. We can go park and go into the, go have lunch there. And they're just like, okay, that's your version of fun. And I'm still like that now. I still go into airports. I'm walking around and I'm like, I get to do this for my job. I get to fly a plane, go to a different destination. Last week I was in Fort Lauderdale, and I got to try a Cuban sandwich and go lay out by the pool and have these experiences, getting paid for it, but also discovering different cultures, trying different food. And so from my time in the industry, I've been flying for 18 years. It's one of the things I love about it. I love traveling. I love discovering new places, and also flying actually to get there.
That's good. And then, because you also, you talked about earlier that growing up, well, actually when you were in the aviation school, you didn't have that support. So with APAPA being the organization, so why do you now want to become part of it? What made you decide to become part of the organization?
I heard about the Professional Asian Pilots Association, and I immediately said, oh, I have to be part of that. And so I contacted them, became a mentor, and I said, what can I do? And that's how I got involved with our inaugural Expo last year, is because I said, hey, at the time I was living in Minnesota, but I said, I grew up in Las Vegas. My mom sits on a board of different Asian councils. What can I do to help? And then at that moment, they're like, what can you help us with the culture events? And that's what I brought last year was they're like, if you can help us with getting performers. And then it grew from that. I said, oh, if we could put in cultural aspects within the conference, calligraphy, Asian florist. And so they actually gave me a space in the conference. And my mom, she did Japanese calligraphy for the conference. We had David Kim from the Korean council.
Yes.
And so he came and volunteered and did Korean calligraphy. And we had origami and a beautiful photo area. And so that's what we brought last year. And this year, it's grown even more. I have the whole middle space of the conference. And we have, again, Japanese calligraphy, Korean calligraphy. We have our university students that are going to be doing games. We have a stage for Papa member. She's performing an Indian classical dance, and Asian Elvis will be performing. Yes. We have a beautiful photo area with a Japanese cherry blossom tree. And so it's grown a lot, and I'm so proud to say that I'm part of that because it would have been my dream as a little girl to go to a conference like this and see all of that. So if we can provide it for our generations that want to become pilots or be in the aviation industry, it just makes it that much more worthwhile.
And you're able to show the diversity and of our community through those performances, and even food. I suppose the food will be there too. So that's really going to be an awesome event. So, and thank you for being able to share our culture to other not of Asian descent. So thank you for that. And can you share a trip that you will never forget?
I got to fly with my husband on his last trip before he went to Delta Airlines. And that was amazing because it was, we started our journey together. And so to watch him do his last flight before he moved on to his dream airline was really amazing. We flew to Canada and back, and and it was like not being at work. You're next to your spouse, your best friend, and so I'll never forget being in the controls, flying in the sky, and watching your best friend fulfill their dreams.
Oh, thank you for sharing. And he's with Delta and you're with Southwest Airlines. It's like a split family, no?
Yes, and we, from earlier on in our careers, we always knew we didn't want to be at the same major airline. We wanted to be at different airlines and better. We get to share benefits, flight benefits, and and so it's fun because I'm at my dream airline, he's at his dream airline, and so
you're both fulfilling your dreams.
We're making it work.
Yes, that's amazing to hear. Thank you for sharing that. And why is also Asian American Heritage Month important to celebrate?
I love showing my girls, they have so many questions about everything. And so celebrating our culture, our heritage is so important because they know where they come from. They love the food. They love sinigang, adobo. Like they love going to the restaurant or making it at home. And I think that's important because they share part of the culture. And we just came from Japan a couple weeks ago. And that journey there, it was a long flight with 2 little kids. But once we got there, experiencing all that and having that be a memory for them is really important. And so celebrating Asian American heritage is important because they know where they come from.
And then knowing about their roots, also not just the food, but also the culture. Yes. And do they speak any languages like Tagalog, Japanese?
They understand some words. They're still young, and I'm also learning with them because I can understand, but I can't speak as well. So we're all learning together.
Oh, that's still awesome. Like learning the languages together with your daughter. That's awesome. And do you have any messages to our aspiring pilots or, yeah?
My message is it's hard to, if you don't see it, you can't be it. And so our focus of our group, the Professional Asian Pilot Association, is just spreading diversity and showing that we can be in this industry, every part of it, and being that example to those. And if to go out of the box, go out of the norm, and pursue something, even if you don't see others doing it, you can do it. You can make it work. You can find resources. You can find different ways to stand out and connect with people, because even though it might be hard, they're out there. And so that would be my biggest recommendation is, if you are passionate about something, go for it. It will work out. It might be hard. There might be struggles. You might feel alone at times, but you'll find your community. And when you do find them and your support system, just share what you want to do in your life, and then they'll support you.
So just being able to follow your passion and having that support system, and also being able to network and have those resources is important to be able to be successful, just like you. And for those who want to be a member of PAPA, do they need to be in the U.S. only, or can anyone from, let's say, Canada join the organization?
We have members from all over the world.
Oh,
yes.
amazing.
And so we are on a platform, it's called Discord. And so we go on there and we can chat with each other. For example, I'm based here in Las Vegas. I'm part of the Southwest Outreach team. And so our area, and we connect with each other. Also, we have socials that different members host. So, for example, there is one in Chicago, and members from there, or people that were flying into that location, they could all meet together and get some dumplings. And so they coordinate. We haven't had international socials, but we're constantly growing. Our network's always growing, and so we do have international pilots or students or people in the industry that are have questions, and we all connect together that way. And then hopefully with our yearly expo, that's where we can all network and get together.
Yeah, so invite again our community kababayans or whoever is interested to attend the PAPA Expo again this coming Thursday and Friday.
Yes, our Professional Asian Pilots Expo will be this Thursday, May 18th and 19th at the Westgate Hotel. And if you can't join us for that, we would love for you to come next year. We'll have all the details of that on the asianpilots.org, and you can be a member and support us as well. Thank you.
Okay, and because I want to wrap up our conversation again with a question that I usually ask our guest speakers, is that what is that piece of advice that you can give to our fellow kababayans or Filipinos, and even though it is something that you already talked about a while ago?
Okay, my recommendation, my advice is get support from your family and friends, but also go out of your comfort zone. Even me being here, yes. I'm a little nervous, but to show others and the younger generation that you can do anything. You can be a mom in this industry or any industry. You can make it work, and you have to follow your passion. I told you about my Lola, my grandma, who's passed away now. She couldn't have imagined this for me. And so to have her granddaughter be an airline pilot when she grew up in the Philippines, to have that is just amazing. So just be proud of yourself and be proud of your community.
Yes, I'm sure your Lola is very proud. Just like us, we are so proud of you.
Oh, you're making me cry, Louise.
in the industry, thank you. You're very inspiring, and I hope you are able, a lot of our viewers were able to see your passion and being able to close that gap on being able to be in the aviation industry. So, maraming salamat. And truly, anything is possible for Asian Americans. And Kizna, you are one of those who prove that sky is the limit. Yan. Thank you for being here. And again, I'd like to invite everyone listening and watching to visit Papa's website, asianpilots.org, for more information about Papa and access to purchase their tickets. Again, thank you, Kizna, and sa mga nanonood at nakikinig ng Fil-Am in Focus sa program by the Asian Community Development Council. Maraming salamat po. For more information about ACDC, please visit our website at acdcnv.org and follow us on our social media channels. Abangan po ang susunod namin na episode at hanggat sa muli. Maraming salamat!